This Christmas, love demands everything. A gift they'll never forget. But at what cost? In a small, humble home on the edge of a busy city, a young woman sits quietly, battling a familiar ache, the longing to give more than she can afford. Della, with her few meager coins, feels the heavy weight of her love for Jim against the emptiness of her purse. Each coin she counts carries the echo of her effort, but the total is heartbreakingly small. Outside, the snow falls softly, wrapping the bustling city in an illusion of magic and joy. Della's eyes linger on the frosted window, her thoughts far away. She doesn't yet know that this quiet evening will set her on a path to discovering the true meaning of giving. A love so deep, it reaches beyond anything money can buy. Della's heart beat faster with every stroke of the comb, each one bringing her closer to a decision she could hardly bear to name. Her hair was her crowning glory, her pride, and yet, in the end, it was just hair. As the scissors gleamed in the dim light, the whispers of love and sacrifice grew louder than her hesitation. Stepping into the snow, the icy wind stung her cheeks, but her resolve never wavered. Beneath the worn sign of a weathered wig shop, Della stood ready to give everything she had for the man she loved. For in her heart, love was worth any sacrifice. As the scissors closed around her hair, Della felt a pang, not of regret, but of quiet anticipation. The golden strands that had once been her pride now lay lifeless on the shop floor. In their place, she held $20, a small sum, yet heavy with the weight of her love. The shopkeeper's cold, businesslike demeanor faded into insignificance. Della's heart was alight with the warmth of giving. Stepping into the snowy streets, she felt lighter, not just in appearance, but in spirit. Her sacrifice was the first step in a story of love and devotion that would never be forgotten. The snow gently kissed Della's cheeks as she walked through the city streets, her heart racing with determination. As Della stepped out of the jeweler's shop, the weight of her sacrifice melted into the warmth of her gift. In the gleam of the golden chain she cradled in her hands, she didn't just see an object. She saw a bridge between her love and Jim's joy. Her mind was consumed by one thought: Jim's smile, a reward more precious than anything money could buy. The quiet warmth of their home embraced Della as she returned, her sacrifice tucked away in the folds of her resolve. Standing before the mirror, she gazed at her reflection, a woman no longer defined by vanity, but enriched by love. Beneath the tiny Christmas tree, the golden chain lay carefully wrapped, a fragile symbol of her devotion. Her heart fluttered with a mix of hope and fear. Would Jim recognize the beauty in her gift? Would he feel the depth of her love? As the clock ticked softly in the background, Della waited, the air thick with anticipation and the promise of a moment that would define their love forever. The cozy apartment, worn but filled with warmth, seemed to hold its breath as the door creaked open. Jim stepped inside, his face etched with the weariness of the cold. Yet it softened the moment his eyes met Della's. Then his gaze fell upon her short hair, and for a heartbeat, the world stood still. His surprise wasn't disapproval, it was something far deeper. The quiet realization of the love that had compelled her sacrifice. When Della spoke, her voice quivered with both hope and fear, her words hanging in the air like fragile threads. The room was heavy with unspoken tension. Jim's silence wasn't born of hesitation, but of awe. For in her selflessness, he saw a love so profound, it left him utterly speechless. When he finally spoke, his voice trembled, not with hesitation, but with awe. In his eyes, Della saw the same love that had inspired her sacrifice, and in his gentle smile, she found the reassurance she so desperately needed. The weight of the moment lingered, heavy and profound, as Della's trembling hands reached for the gift on the table. Her heart overflowed with a mix of anticipation and trust, each beat echoing the depth of their shared love. As the jeweled combs sparkled in Della's hands, they reflected more than their beauty. They captured the profound depth of Jim's love. Yet, within their brilliance, there lay the bittersweet irony of her sacrifice. Della's joy, though radiant, was tinged with heartbreak, but she chose not to dwell on what was lost. Instead, with a tender smile, she offered Jim her gift, a simple chain, yet heavy with the immeasurable weight of her devotion. When Jim held the chain, his quiet smile spoke volumes, saying what words could never convey. In that moment, the room, though modest and filled with humble possessions, overflowed with the unspoken language of love and sacrifice, a language only their hearts could truly understand. In their cozy home, the gentle glow of the tiny tree mirrored the radiant light in their hearts. Two souls, united by love, bore the weight of their sacrifices together. The combs and the chain, though stripped of their practical use, transformed into priceless treasures, symbols of a bond that transcended the material. As Jim and Della embraced, the world beyond their walls faded into insignificance, leaving only the warmth of their connection. In their shared laughter and quiet tears, they uncovered the true meaning of giving. A love so pure, so selfless, it rendered everything else utterly unimportant. And so, in their tiny apartment, Jim and Della exchanged the greatest gifts of all. It wasn't the combs or the chain. It was their boundless willingness to give everything for one another. Their sacrifices, laced with bittersweet irony, stood as a timeless testament to a love so profound. It transcended all material things. In the soft, flickering glow of their modest tree, they found the most priceless treasure of all, a love that asked for nothing, yet gave everything.